All right, hey, thank you. Chad Frigon here at the Liberty football team with our weekly press conference here at Liberty High School. Last week we got a win at home against Park Hill South, 24-21. It was a good ball game and one our kids were excited about, and hopefully we can build on for the rest of our season as we go week to week through these last few weeks as we get in the districts. The game was one where we jumped out to a lead and then we were able to score the first play of the second half, then hold off a comeback that they were able to do. They put together some points at the end that made the game close at the end, but close like our last few games before that, whereas we were able to finish this one out with a win where we weren't the 2 weeks before that. So it was exciting for our kids, and like I said, hopefully we can build on it as we finish up our season. Moving on next week to Columbia Hickman, which we play down there, and then a home game against Ruskin the following week. I'd like to go ahead and open up for some questions. Go ahead.
Could you give an update on Justin's injury?
Yeah, Justin Tuttle was hurt on one of the very first few plays of the game on their first drive with some type of a neck injury, and it was more muscle related, but he had some pain in that area, and they took him to the hospital to be evaluated, which is our protocol with our trainers. He's back at school, has not gone through any contact yet. He's going to go see a physician again, and it does not appear that it was a serious injury, and we hope to have him back really soon, which was good news. It was a scary injury for sure. Yes?
How do you guys feel that you improved your playing from the previous week to really pull it off this week?
Well, we definitely improved. One of the things I talked about last week was our rush defense, and we did improve in our rush defense. Park Hill South is a team going in, their yardage is about 50-50 in passing and rushing, and we shut down the running attack for the most part, and we're able to take them out of what they like to do in the passing game in a lot of different situations. They're a good, well-coached team, and they had some success in some areas. So we felt good defensively about that and limited them to 21 points. And actually, our defense limited them to 14. 7 of their points came on an interception return that obviously our offense was on the field when that happened. So on the flip side of that, offensively, we had 2 touchdowns from Devin Bryant. He had a good game. He had 170 yards and ran the ball well. And then our line, we felt improved their blocking with that, and had some big catches throughout the game, in our passing game. So we felt we had a well-balanced attack. A.J. Camrick scored another, our final touchdown, or I guess it would be our third touchdown, that off a quarterback sneak when we got it down there. So we just felt like we had a more balanced attack offensively, and we're able to just execute our plays better. And we're excited about that. And like I said, hopefully we can carry it over into going to Columbia and playing a 6A school down in Columbia this weekend. Yes.
Speaking of Columbia, coming off of kind of a close game, do you think you would ride like an emotional high into that game, or how do you maintain your good form?
Well, I'm hoping we can just build on what we did, and whether that is being positive, and every week, win or lose, we're going to try to always point out the positives and be able to build on those and then correct what we did wrong. And we know we got to limit our turnovers. We forced a lot of turnovers on their part, but we had a really costly one on ours. And we know it's something we have to limit and not have that happen. So hopefully we can just take those into this game. We know that they're a good physical football team. They just come off a loss to Rockhurst here in Kansas City. And obviously Rockhurst is a really good team. And know they're going to be ready to play. It's their senior night at their place. And we're going to take the trip down there and hopefully build on what we did last Friday. Craig, go ahead.
What are you expecting to see out of Hickman?
Well, Hickman is a team. They're a run-first team, and they have a very good quarterback. Carter Nicolai is his name. He's a junior, and he's been their top in terms of yardage, even their top rusher, top passer, very good football player. And they opened the game against Rockhurst with a 14-play drive. And unfortunately for them, they had a turnover, weren't able to get it into the end zone on that drive, but showed what they're capable of doing. And we know that we're going to have to be able to limit those and put them into those third down situations or force them in to do some things they don't like to do. Defensively, they've been very solid. They held Columbia Battle, who was a game that they lost 14-7, but Columbia Battle, who's a team that scored a lot of points throughout this season, only scored 14 against them. You can kind of see what they have done defensively. Earlier this year, they played Lee Summit, a team from Kansas City, and jumped out to a 17-0 lead, and then Lee Summit came back and beat them. But it shows through glimpses, very similar to what our season's had sometimes, where we felt like we played good but haven't put a whole game together. I think they're kind of in the same boat in that respect, that they have the ability to play very well and ability to do some good things, and you've seen it here and there on their film throughout the year. Yes?
So obviously you kind of draw some comparisons with the way the Columbia Hickman has played this year. what are you guys planning on doing to take advantage of that?
Well, I think when you draw a comparison on teams that we've played, on teams that run the ball extremely well, St. Joe Central and Ray Peck are teams that we've played that run the ball really well. Park Hill runs the ball well, but they're also, maybe even more two-dimensional to those that they throw it really well also. And but you look at those big physical football teams that I mentioned there that we played against, Kearney be another one, that they get into that mold, and that they're big, physical, run first, and they like to play downhill, getting the ball down the field. And we've gone up against those. We've had some success, and we've struggled some against it. So we know that's going to be a big key going into this game. All right. Do we have any more questions today? All right. This following week, like I said, we played Columbia Hickman this Friday night, and then we'll return and play at home next Thursday night in a Thursday night game against Ruskin. After that, week 10 will be our final game that's on the schedule. It's obviously district, so if we win, we'd have more than that. But our final game on the schedule is week 10, and it'll be a district opponent who we don't know we play yet. It's going to be important how we do these last few games before we see that up. Thank you, and I look forward to talking to you all again next week. Thank you.